All right, man. Well, let's start. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Blessed Sport Podcast. This is your host, Luis Rivera, and my special guest today is Joey, el cazador ruquet. Joey, thank you for taking time and doing this interview with me. I appreciate it. And let's hop into it, man. To begin with, the first question I have,
Definitely.
who is Joey, el cazador ruquet?
So I am Puerto Rican and French. My mom's Puerto Riqueño, and my dad's French. Um, I I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades, but fighting is definitely something I've always done growing up, and I'll probably won't stop. I'll probably be one of those retired guys still fighting.
All right. Tell us a little bit to the fans. How did you start into this sport?
I want to say that was in 2008. In 2008, there was an opportunity to do a bracket man fight, and it was on Indian territory. So, you can get away with a couple rules. I was 17, just before I turned 18 years old, 17 years old. Uh, Went out to do this bracket fight. It was 9 fights in 2 days, and became the Oklahoma State world champion. Um, and then my best friend George Damiano, he's actually the one that pushed me into it because uh, he was just I was trying to pursue a career in skateboarding, and he told me, "I just go fight," because we always got into fights all the time in
Yeah,
school, on the streets, always getting in trouble for it. So he basically said, you can fight, just go do it. And I'm like, all right. So he talked me into it. I ended up winning that bracket, and then fell in love with the sport ever since. And here we are, 15 years strong, and still making name.
that's good. That's good. That's awesome. When you're fighting, what's your favorite strike submission to use in a fight?
So I don't have necessarily a favorite submission or strike. Honestly, I consider myself more of a mixed martial artist, and I win by whatever comes. So whatever opportunity presents itself from my opponent. It'll always change depending on what they are, what style they are, what they're throwing, and I'll always have to adjust my game, vice versa, and just let it happen as a flow.
All right. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Our biggest inspiration, I don't have one, to be honest. I would say maybe, hmm, if there was one person I could be more like. It's a weird answer, but I would like to be more like my wife. Her heart is pure, and her decisions are selfless. And I see how good of a person she is. So I would like to be more of a good person, kind of like my wife.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You being a fighter, what does it mean for you to be a fighter?
What does it mean to me to be a fighter? It feels like a warrior. You feel like you're the head poncho. You feel like you're on the front gate, the front line. Like you're the conqueror.
Yeah.
You feel untouchable.
We got a few more questions. This is like an easy interview, and then it's just to get to know you a little bit better. Um, what separates you from every other fighter in your division or weight class when you're fighting? What separates you from all of them?
I would say the ability to control my emotions and stay cognitive and smart in my fights. That's something I didn't do in the beginning of my career. I was a very emotional driven fighter, and that ended up costing me my first world title fight, fighting with emotion. And now that I've been able to take a step back and stay calm, not just calm, but not even if you get hit with something in the middle of a fight, not being reactive and being angry that you got hit with something and
Yeah.
wanting to brawl, staying smart, staying cognitive, putting yourself in a better position. I would say that separates me the most out of everybody.
If you could have a one dream fight with anyone, who would it be?
Dream fight. I think of legends when I think of a dream fight,
It don't
Yeah.
anyone like me.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of basketball. I wanted to play with my favorite basketball player, Anthony Hardwood.
Yeah.
It never
Yeah.
happened. But
I'd say Jose Aldo. I know he's not where he used to be, but I think that would be pretty dope to brag about.
nice. Yeah, what do you want to be remembered for at the end of your career? Once you say that's it, what do you want the fans, everyone to remember Joey Cazador Ruquet?
Um, so I don't want to just be another fighter. I would like to use my platform to be a proper role model for the young kids that are watching, not just the fight aspect, because everybody wants to be a fighter, but being a respectful professional fighter, being the type of man that is supposed to be good
Yeah,
to his wife and kids outside the ring. So I think overall a good role model.
that's awesome. Like I like a few more questions. Right now, are you training? Are you healthy?
Yes. Yes.
That's
Always
awesome.
training, always healthy.
Yeah, I follow you. I always see your posts and everything. You're always doing something. So that's awesome that you staying in shape and all that. Um, which team are you training with in preparations for your next bout? Do you have any bouts in the near future?
Yes. March 2nd is in the works. I haven't made any announcements yet because they're looking for an opponent. But it's in the works for March 2nd in Orlando for Game Bread again. Um, and I'm currently with Futures MMA in Fort Myers, Florida. I've always been with Silverback Fight Team out of Las Vegas. That's my head coach. But I'm basically with Silverback Fight Team and um, Futures MMA on opposite sides of the country.
Okay. All right. And one last question I always ask all the athletes on my interview, like what's how do I say it? Um for the young kids that want to do the sports, like what do you have to say for them that they want to do like the same sport, MMA? Like what words you have encouragements for them?
Well, if you're trying to get your technique to the high level, focus on the first things that you learn. Learn how to do a jab every day. Learn basic footwork every day. Learn all your basics until you retire. Don't ever stop doing it. You're supposed to hate doing the same thing every day, but do it like you love it. And you'll be able to be fancy and all the other cool moves come along when your basics are 100%.
Awesome, awesome. Joey, this was quick. Hopefully the next interview, it could be after you win your fight on March.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully now I know it's in Orlando, so I'm like 20 minutes from Orlando. So hopefully
Oh, nice.
I could go to the fight and see you and I wish you the best, man. I know this was a short interview, but I gotta start somewhere and I know
Yeah,
you gotta
man.
train and all that. I appreciate you taking the time to just few minutes hanging out with Bless Sport Podcast. But again, thank you so much, man.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right, man. God bless and keep on training and we'll see you March 2nd.
All right, you too, man. Take it easy.
All right.